We probably should. There we go. I don't think we should share captions with the world. We can try one more of this
It
since we're
doesn't do
recording.
hissing. Hiss.
Hold on. Now that I've put on the record, it doesn't have the captions anymore. I'm not a caption man anymore. It's
Piss.
all you
I'm
now.
seeing it.
Well,
Piss, piss,
because
piss, piss, piss,
I start.
piss.
Does it say piss?
Yep.
Okay, because I start recording, right? So I guess you can't do it when you're recording. I don't know.
That's what she said.
Hmm.
You know what else
So,
she said?
what
Piss,
else?
piss, 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 piss.
Hmm.
Cunt, cunt, fuck, fuck.
I couldn't help it yesterday, last week when a junior high student asked, "Who's your favorite person?" Like trying to like kind of cheekily, it's like, "Who's your favorite food?
Yeah.
Who's your favorite?" It's like, "Who's your favorite person?" So I just blurted out, "Your mom."
Does that translate in Japan?
I mean, that does that need to translate?
I mean, culturally, does it make sense? Because like I know there's certain insults that don't culturally translate.
It wasn't even quite an insult, was it? It was just a fun response.
Suggestion that whatever.
Mm,
Oh man,
Suggest I'm hanging out
I
with your
was
mom.
just I was just watching Highlander 2.
I haven't started. I'll watch it tonight. The 1:30 cut. I don't want to watch 2 hours of Highlander 2.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how much better the longer one is. There's just
Okay, well,
more
you're
in it.
definitely not talking me into watching that then, because I'll
I'm
start
not,
watching at like
well,
11 p.m. So,
I'm not gonna watch them both. I mean, I'm gonna try to find. There's a documentary about how much of a shit show it was to make it. I'm gonna try to find some of that stuff.
mm. Can you hear that? Is that can the Zoom cut that shit out?
What?
You playing
What
this
shit?
bot? I'm making noise with my bottle. The Zoom cut
I
all that
don't hear
out.
it.
That's
I don't hear it.
amazing. How amazing.
Cunt, cunt, cunt. I don't
That's
even have
why I
the
had to.
captions on.
I did another musical intro for a podcast, and I just again I had to pre-record it because all of these I mean I guess 95% of the time it's great that it cuts out all the noise, but every once in a while you want the noise, right?
Well, that's what original sound for musicians is for.
Oh, okay. Anyway, my thing is just recording it and then playing it in, pasting it in. Okay.
So I'm what okay, I turned that on. So now this is original sound from musicians. Do I sound different?
No,
Probably not. Shit, shit, cunt, cunt,
well, I
cunt.
don't think you want that because you're not playing music.
I mean, I do. I want to use all the bandwidth in the world because I
Hmm.
can, but whatever.
Hmm.
I didn't anymore.
I don't. You hear my shit in the room. I shit in my room.
Shit in the room. I should probably actually open the file of the notes about the thing we're actually going to talk about.
I did that.
I was taking notes for the other thing that's better.
The other thing that's better.
It's not better. It's a Highlander 2.
I was about to say, is
It's
Highlander
not
2
better
better than
than this.
Severance? Than a good
It
episode
might
of
be better
Severance?
than a lot of other things we've talked about, but anyway,
Yeah, but this is kind of a high bar, I think.
it's not better than Planet of the Apes.
Oh yeah, I did it again. I watched the Burton one. I was playing guitar while watching it though.
Is it worse now or better?
No, my thought was if I do it while playing guitar, um, I it would be better because of the production design and stuff. Which it actually just turned out every time I looked up, they're just like running around, right? They're running. Tim Roth is good though. Give Tim Roth his
Yeah,
props as a good psycho ape.
I've never watched it, so if I watched it, I'd probably try to pay attention to it.
Oh, right. Then it's probably not that great. I honestly, I would be curious what your take on it is. Anyway, it costs like two
Well,
bucks. What'd I get?
we have to do it for I don't know.
We don't have to do it's not on the list for films
We
and
don't have
filth.
to do anything really.
We don't have to do
Oh,
anything.
this is
So
more
Planet
for
of the
the
Apes.
more likely for the Planet of the Apes
I've never seen
podcast, right?
this, but it was $2, so why not?
I feel like that's one of those that I would kind of end up not liking any of the people in it.
Daniel Radcliffe plays Igor. And that at
Was that
least
the Frankenstein thing you were talking about?
yeah, that at least gets my
Did you
attention.
watch the Frankenstein thing that I sent in the chat?
What was that?
The Diary of Anne
Oh, right, right.
Frankenstein?
No, you just sent that. Yeah, no, so I haven't watched
It's
it. The
super good and
Walk.
you
I
should
haven't
watch
watched
that
it.
instead of any of this shit.
Okay. Blow? That's not shit. That's a good movie.
Yeah, it's a good movie, but it's not as good as The Diary of Anne Frankenstein.
Cleopatra's too
Where it's
long. I
like
doubt I'll be watching this anytime soon.
The Diary of
Blow,
Anne
I'll be watching
Frankenstein,
soon. I'll be watching Blow
there's this
soon.
this guy who plays Hitler is like, by the way, Hitler's in it, and he's like 6.5 feet tall, and everyone is speaking German except for he's speaking like fake nonsense German. So
Ah,
people are like, everyone else is playing it straight, and they all look really scared, and he's like, the Fluffy Goblin, and then he just keeps
ooh.
shooting people, and he's like, um,
Here's a strike against Victor Frankenstein. Screenplay and story by Max Landis.
yeah,
Okay.
Sex Pest. I almost brought that up in the chat, but I was like, that'd probably just be a downer. I'm not even gonna mention it.
It's just a down. I mean, there's other people in the movie, you know. So who is Victor again? Victor is. Oh yeah, Professor X. So I don't know. We'll see.
I like him.
These are things I the thing is I'm never gonna watch it properly. What I'm gonna do is end up putting it on at 1 o'clock in the morning, 5 nights in a row, and watching like 5 minutes and falling asleep, and then watching another 5 minutes and falling asleep, and never actually watching the whole movie because it probably doesn't deserve to be watched. Blow, I'll watch all of Blow. That'll happen.
Yeah, but you should really watch the Diary of Anne Frankenstein because it's better than
Okay.
anything.
I know he just sent it, so and
It's better than anything
I've been
except for
sleeping most of that
Severance.
time.
Okay,
Speaking of, let's do pause, start.
so you can go to sleep.
Sleep? No, it's morning.
I don't know. I'm not trying to tell you to live your life.
I might need to try and take the second shower today. It's that hot today.
Shit, I almost never do that, and I work in a warehouse. Welcome to
What?
Severance.
Did you stutter? Yes.
Yes, I did. We're
You
episode
stuttered.
6, season 1, hide and seek. Are you hiding or seeking?
Looks like I'm seeking because I'm in camera. If I was hiding, you would not see me on camera, right?
So I'm your
Is that
co-host, Hyde,
I'm
and
seeking. Well, you
we're
want to
hide
go
and
that
seek.
way? Okay.
That sounds like something that would be in an RPG. Like I'm Hyde and this is Seek, and now we're going to kill you.
That's a crappy RPG. That's a Canadian made one. I
No,
played good Canadian
Japanese
ones, by
people
the
would
way.
absolutely do that. Don't kid yourself for a second.
Hey, I just went
100%.
walking down Tokyo Character Street. I know how this works.
I'm straight up gonna go video game hide and seek
Okay, you
battle.
look for that. Real names Matt here, Mark there. We should do that. Hide and seek, not our names with the episode title. A weirdly short episode that seems to be pretty stuffed. This is just like stuff happens, as opposed to episodes where stuff doesn't happen. This is all stuff happening, I think.
Well, like I've said a million times on a million podcasts, I like my favorite thing about modern TV is that episodes can be short if they don't need to be longer than they are, and they can be long if they need to be long. Like just let the story tell itself.
There is something to having that, like, I have to fit the mold thing that I don't know. Like, what you're saying makes sense. I'm not saying it's wrong, but at the same time, there's kind of like, oh, I have to make it fit this mold, is sometimes
I
interesting.
I strongly prefer like yeah, sometimes I look at the time bar or whatever, but I feel like if it's an odd time that I'm not thinking if the time of an episode is always 44 minutes, then I'm always thinking to myself, I'm like putting it in a box myself, like, oh, this is the we're almost to the final act and something's going to happen. I don't like that distraction. I'd much rather not be aware of like episode structure.
I think, where I think I got annoyed with it was, and I do like the season, but season 3 of the Orville, where they're like, our episodes are all now 15 minutes longer. And you're like, they could have cut 15 minutes from this
That's
episode.
That's exactly what I liked. I mean, I don't think that was as good as season 2 of the Orville, but I liked the structure.
I
I
think if you cut the 15
greatly.
extra minutes, it would have been.
I didn't ever feel like okay, the one episode that had a lot of space battles in it was probably too long because the space battles that show are kind of mid, but um, that's about it. Or the one, the thing, the one where they were fighting all the spiders that were vampires or whatever it was, which is something I never really like. Like I don't like when TV shows do Alien because they're not going to do it, or Aliens because they're not going to do it as well as the
Are you
movie
more
Aliens
excited
did.
if you hear one of your favorite directors is about to make a vampire movie or a zombie movie?
Vampire movie.
Okay, I'm on Team Zombie, I think.
100% I prefer like the classic zombie movies, sure, but I feel like it's kind of almost like the Marvel connection thing where like there are only a few things have been done with zombie movies that are good, and they've
That is
mostly been
true,
done.
but I'm still excited to hear that someone's going to tackle it more than a vampire. It might be because there are more good vampire movies, right? It's like,
I
oh,
guess,
here's a good director.
yeah,
Let's go to bat for the zombies, and see if they knock it out of the park. Because it's easier to knock it out of the park with a vampire movie, right?
but zombie movies, there's always the risk that they're gonna
Sinners is
make the
now on my computer,
zombies
but I haven't watched it yet.
so you basically kind of know the plot of that then.
No, I know it has to do with music. That's about it. And
Okay.
vampires, vampires and music. I know
Okay.
that.
Well, the vampire thing is kind of a surprise, but
Oh,
well,
that's a
now
surprise. See, I thought it was a
it's kind of
vampire
a
movie to
surprise.
start with. Oops. Okay, well, I did get spoiled on that already, but that's
It's
fine.
it won't ruin the film, but there is like it is basically a very slow like build up, and you kind of think it's going to be about you pretty much think it's going to be like about a Robert Johnson deal with the devil blues thing, and it's vampires.
Okay,
But
that's cool.
no,
Anyway,
but
I'll
it's
get to
great
it
though.
soon. I'm
It
late to the game. It did not show in theaters in Nagano, Japan that I know of.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Like, well,
So,
like I said, it breaks a lot of rules of filmmaking and basically crams like three or four different horror genres. Like it's kind of the best Evil Dead movie since
ooh.
Army of Darkness.
Okay.
It and I love it for that. And that's it. It keeps surprising you
Anyway, I'm looking
and
forward to getting to it soon.
the I the structure doesn't necessarily feel like it should work, but it does, and that's what I like about shows that sometimes are weird lengths. I know, like, not a lot of people like I would love it if someone went through and somehow just edited old Star Treks so that there was no clue of where the commercial breaks were. You know what I mean? Like
Or
I
put the commercials back in from the 1960s. That would be the other route.
no, that's absolutely not what I want. Actually,
I'll take the
um,
commercials.
I will. I
1968
honestly,
commercials? That'd be awesome.
I given like how weird I feel like commercials have like put us on this clear path to like destruction, and I think that commercials are the actual like problem with all of society is that people basically have learned to absorb commercials, and commercials have gotten worse and worse. I don't think
Is
commercials
that
have
why
gotten
all the
worse.
AI commercials end with the world exploding?
Do they?
I've
I've
seen
never
like
seen any end.
I feel like they ever yeah, okay.
I've only skipped them, and they only show up at work where people are too don't really know how to use ad blockers.
I haven't put one on for like 2 years. No, I'm talking about the fake commercials, the AI fake commercials, which I guess are real commercials now to a
Um,
certain extent too. But
I tried to lose weight, and then I no, I saw one where it was like an old lady voice, and it kept talking about how her husband had dementia and how he was able to take some kind of pills to reverse it.
oh, or
And
if you play a game and then it gives you like an ad, and then the person there is just saying the most condescending crap to you.
I don't know what that's like. But I anyway, the short version is like I genuinely think commercials have made society extremely bad, and I avoid them as much as humanly possible, even the old ones that were good.
Okay. Anyway, talking about compact things, hide and seek, 40 minutes, shortest episode of the whole series. I don't know if there's a shorter one, maybe in season two.
Didn't look.
Didn't
I like
look. Anyway, we'll
surprises.
just be like it's short. And but yeah, it's a power pill of an episode. Like many things happen in this. And then like I did have a thing with you where it's like, "Oh, this hasn't happened quite yet." It felt like it should have happened this episode and we got to wait a bit more. So,
And I
it
never noticed
cliffhangs a
how
bit.
short it was. I never noticed how short this episode was until this viewing because I paused it a bunch of times because when I'm supposed to watch something, it's much harder.
Mm. Well, can you give us some trivia on it?
Yep. Effie McArdle is back in the director's chair for the third and final time. Of course, she's still handling producer duties for the rest of season one. And next week, Ben Stiller's back in the directorial chair. I used the word chair twice.
Seat.
Anyway, there's a one chair, and somebody else will be in it next week. The
One chair,
primary
one
writing
seat.
credit: one chair, one seat. Music. The music plays, and then somebody else is in it. The primary writing credit goes to Amanda Overton. Again, there isn't much of an IMDb bio and nothing on Wikipedia, but she has a few credits in script and continuity department, director, camera, actress, and art director categories. And producer credits, including, hey, all of season one of Severance. Other writing credits include Monarch Legacy of Monsters and 12 episodes of Arcane, which is the League of Legends TV show that everybody seems to like, but I have not watched because I hate the idea of League of Legends. This is her only writing credit for the show. I seriously thought I'd already done a bio for Jen Tolek, who plays Devon Scout Hale, but it turns out I haven't. So you Devon fans can stop being mad at me now, and that includes myself. She was born in 1983 in Louisville, Kentucky, raised in an evangelical church, but left it as a teen. Came out as openly queer, and a lot of her writing has satirized her childhood experiences with evangelicals. She's written and starred in multiple series, Disengaged on Super Deluxe, RIP, and The Coop on Funny or Die, which probably RIP also. I think that doesn't exist anymore. I'm not really sure.
What,
She
Funny or
also ran a,
Die?
yeah. She also ran a website called eggshellworld.com, featuring social media videos examining the fragility of suburban white women. She's appeared on stage in multiple plays in Chicago and New York, and my typing just went
And
nuts.
what?
Her acting career has included screen acting career. Wow, I just anyway has included Curb Your Enthusiasm, The L Word, Generation Q. That's one title. The L Word: Generation Q, and Perry Mason, the new one. She'll of course be back next week. As Devon's midwife and Mark's date Alexa, we have Nikki M. James, hailing from Summit, New Jersey. She began her career at age 13, starting out in commercials, then got a BFA in drama from Tisch School of the Arts in NYU, and had multiple stage appearances, including Broadway, Shakespeare, a role in the Book of Mormon that she won a Tony for, and a solo cabaret show. Screen appearances include Ben Stiller joint Escape at Dannemora, NCIS New Orleans, and Daredevil Born Again. She'll be back again next week. Hey, maybe
Born.
she and Mark will
Mid
work out.
wifing herself.
She'll midwife. Yes, that's what Daredevil Born Again is. She just helps Daredevil deliver children. Anyway, story. Cobell is doing a morning ritual, which seems pretty insane and cultish, when Grainer calls her to tell her that he has located someone who may have been responsible for Petey's reintegration. Mark decides to throw Petey's phone in the trash on the way to work. Later at work, Bert takes Irving to a room he's found that's full of plants so they can be alone. Irving seems to be getting a little closer, but is still not ready to get really, really close. Meanwhile, Devon runs into the woman she saw previously at the birthing lodge and is confused that she seems to have forgotten her, and also named her baby something different than she said she would. After also meeting her husband, Devon looks him up later and finds out that he has lobbied in favor of Severance's legality. Meanwhile, Cobell has sent Miss Casey to the break room, and she informs Mark that MDR has lost their hallway privileges. Mark then goes to MDR to inform them of this, and then almost immediately is persuaded to actually go to O&D anyway. Dylan steals an ideographic card, then Milchick escorts them all back to Cobell, and Mark is sent to the break room immediately after Miss Casey. After work, Devon and Rickon meet their lactation consultant, and it turns out to be Mrs. Selvig. Mark goes on a date with Alexa, part of which entails watching Petey's daughter June play songs that say mean things about Lumen, and later she says mean things to Mark's face. After Mark and Alexa have hit it off, she straight up leaves her in his bed while he digs Petey's phone out of the trash, then goes to meet the woman who's been calling Petey's phone from a blocked number, the same woman who Grainer was talking to Cobell about at the beginning of the episode, Asal Ragabi. Also, Dylan is woken up at his home and he has a kid.
Cliffhangers. I guess it's a cliffhanger episode. This is the most cliffhangery of episodes so far, right?
Can you tell I forgot to write that into the summary?
What, Dylan waking up in his room?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was
Which
like, uh-oh.
somehow well, here's I mean, it is kind of like outside the plot because you also have to mention that he steals that weird card from O&D, which seems mostly meaningless, but apparently it's a
um,
big deal, a big enough deal to wake him up at his home.
it's funny because I never once thought about why he was being woken up. Um, I think in the back of my head, I always thought it was Rickon's book, but then like I was like, oh wait, what was it? And then I had to rewind it because it happened so quickly, and it seems like such a nothing. and I don't know. I guess spoilers. We still don't know what the deal with that thing is.
Well, it seemed to be instructions for O&D. Maybe it's kind of like last week how, different departments get different paintings of the other department, like disemboweling them, you know?
Yeah,
Like
but
MDR can't see O&D's like weird hypnotic cards.
that is an insane risk to take. You would have to agree, right? Like
Oh, of
to do
course.
this.
And
I
then you
guess
trust the kid too, which you shouldn't
that's a
have because
big problem. Yeah. Like that's sort of what set the whole thing off. But I don't know, maybe if you know Dylan from work, maybe you don't think he would care that he had a kid.
well, we're gonna learn. I mean, this is Dylan's pivot point, right? And I feel like it's kind of the pivot point
Hmm.
of season one. Because this is
Perhaps.
where you start blurring the lines between your innies and outies. Because we have not had the innies on the outside or the outies on the inside yet, right? This is the first
Well, we
time.
don't know. We did not ever know before that someone could be there and he's outside of the building,
Right.
which is maybe we take that for granted having watched a little further in the future, but nobody innies, outies, nobody like oh I guess Outie Dylan knows now, but um I don't think anyone actually knows that you could just become an innie while you're walking around
Yeah,
because
yeah, yeah.
that's
That's kind of new knowledge. What about our
kind of
other?
nuts, isn't it? Think
Yeah,
about it. Like you
yeah.
could be anywhere on Earth and it works. Like that's
Well, if you're down with the technology, yeah, I guess you've opened that door for yourself, gotten in that bed with yourself, as we see in the credits of the show.
like imagine if you're just walking down the street and then your Apple Pay says that you bought something at Best Buy, but you're nowhere near Best Buy. That's exactly
Mm.
what this is like.
All right, that's getting scammed, man. Who else do we got on the MDR staff? Irving. He's his own worst wigman apparently. So,
He just doesn't know. It's like he's just failing upwards, I guess.
mm. I guess the thing with the innies are they are kind of like their emotional intelligence is probably like however long they've been there, right?
Uh, Seems about right.
So while they do have like, cognizant speech and all that sort of stuff and, developed brains technically, they're still emotionally like how long have you been there, right? Petey was like the wise old man because he'd been there slightly longer than everyone else.
So how long do you think Bert's been here?
Hmm. 6 years. He's a 6-year-old. Have they said how long Irving's
Okay.
been here?
No.
Okay. I feel at some point they state maybe. I feel like Mark has been there 2, 3 years.
I'm not
There's something
sure.
stated at some point, I think. But yeah, I mean, it's not that important. I am just like trying to paste on, do you think that the emotional intelligence would be from waking up on the table?
I suppose so. There has to be something that carries over, and it's simply because people know how to talk and walk. So something carries over because obviously, people know what have references to something. Like they
But
talk
it
about
takes such
stuff.
small things to affect them. Again, it's like a kindergarten, right? Like the break room. Most of us would be like, piss off, drag me in there kicking and screaming if you're going to do it that way. I feel like just strolling in seems kind of weird.
Like, can you imagine what it would take for if you had almost no emotional intelligence? If you were kind of a new being, could you imagine what it would take for you to like genuinely want to kill yourself
Mm.
so you don't go there anymore, so you don't do not work anymore?
Hell, we
I feel like
almost worked it out.
you have to have a frame of reference, right? Like to feel like that.
I mean,
Because if you're
Lumen,
really have no emotional intelligence, you're like, okay, I'll come to work and look at the scary numbers and then leave, and then I won't, you know.
you don't really leave though, do you? And then Lumen peanuts become like the most awesome food in the universe for you, which is depressing.
I suppose it's just there's clearly some stuff that carries over, and I think it is probably best not to pick at it too much because that probably would break the show
Would it?
for us. I
I'm
mean,
kind of
for
adding depth. Like that's what I'm saying with this little Irving and Bert in the what arboretum, what are you gonna call that room? I don't know, but like they're not really talking to each other like adults, you know, I think. I don't know.
Kind of.
And as we're gonna with Dylan, you know, waking up in the adult world as like it's like, but he's any guy, you know, you show up in the outside world, and you know that's the emotional intelligence of Dylan on the outside and Dylan on the inside would have to be somewhat different. I mean, Dylan on the inside is not very emotionally intelligent. We've picked up on that, whereas outside Dylan must have a little bit more, you know, um, what's the word I'm looking for? Finesse or something.
Well, you also, Dylan's stupidity is different from Mark's stupidity. You know what I mean? There's just sort of a difference that is
Dylan
hard.
just wants that damn waffle party.
I guess children are different than other children. I guess you go at it from that angle. Um,
And it's I guess that's the thing. It's so easy to infantilize the innies, you know, right? I mean, we get that with Helly's response video where the Audi version of Helly is just like, go screw yourself, you know?
but I
Screw with
mean,
me again, I'll make your life hell.
but I mean, what if any Helly just really wanted to just be any Helly all the time? Is that like
Do any of these people really
okay?
want to be here?
What if they just have no interest in not they're so well, we've seen Helly be like, "Well, I want to not be here so badly that I will die." But what if you wanted to be here? What if you wanted to live so badly that you would tolerate being at Lumen?
Is that what Marquez is doing? He's mostly accepted this crap despite having the similar. I mean, he says he did similar stuff earlier on, and now he's just like accepted his lot in life, right? Dylan is focused on dumb perks. Um, Irving needed something new to focus on, so I guess he's doing that, right? Even
Well, I
Bert,
think
you know, Bert, maybe he's just getting bored as hell of O&D, and that's why he's just showing up in the conference room like in last episode, you know?
yeah, it's I don't this is a touchy subject maybe. I don't think that under most normal set circumstances would someone not want to not exist. I think that's something where it's almost always a societal thing where we've manufactured a hellish world that people would rather be dead than participate in. And I'm not saying that Lumen is not like that because it definitely is. Like there's no argument for this being like a any in any way a good situation except for maybe you like your coworkers.
Yeah, like if 100% of your life is in, you know, fluorescent lit offices with no windows, that's kind of a bummer.
Yeah, but also, if I worked with better people, then my job would suck less. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, and there have been times I had pretty crappy jobs that I worked with really cool people, and it was sort of okay somehow.
You willing to work with this crew? You want to be
I
a member
mean,
of MDR?
maybe, yeah, probably.
Or O&D? You want to go O&D? You got more people there. They don't have chairs though. They're standing around, aren't they?
I think really it's ironic. I think I'm probably more of a Mark than anybody else. Well, that's not really true. I'm more of a Helly, to be honest. Um,
I think I would have an insatiable urge to go outside. So, yeah, which I mentioned for here, but
I'm actually like there are about like 5 or 6 different things that my current job could do that would make me just walk out, and I definitely need a job. So like
mm.
I definitely would go like the for a vic, defeat, Pyrrhic defeat if you if you lose, right? I don't know.
Oh,
Uh,
well, let's see. I'm just running through my notes here. Oh yeah, the I just it doesn't matter, but when Dawn gets her baby or whatever, I'm like, that baby's 3 months old. There's no way that's a newborn, which is that's production
yeah,
realities. It's just funny, you know. So I made a note.
yeah, but like,
Speaking of which, I guess they haven't said it outright, but the implication is that the rich lady got severed to have her baby, which is a little bit
mhm,
weird.
that is pretty weird, and I don't think I caught that right away the first time I watched it, but they eventually they sort of
I
spell it
did.
out. They sort of spell it out. Well, I just thought it was like, oh, it's a background character. But this show doesn't really do that many background. This show doesn't really do red herrings that much, which I do appreciate. But it's also like I'm not great at paying attention to every single detail.
Yeah, I guess the first episode with the foodless dinner party. I guess those people have been the most backgroundy.
But I mean, they also come back for the season finale. Spoiler, mild spoiler.
Right.
You know that that one has a really funny line that I won't spoil.
But that's one that just keeps, that's certainly not, it's not that important. Those would be the background ones that aren't so important.
Yeah, but there aren't very many background characters in Lumen
No. Moving
except for
along.
O and
So yeah, the
D.
Deborah Dam bourgeoisie, the you read, I'll report you to myself. I like that. I'll report you to myself. Do
Self-report. Yeah.
you want facial encouragement? Give me some facial encouragement on an audio podcast.
Oh, sorry,
Oh,
I was making my eyes kind.
oh, okay. Oops, that was the wrong procedure. You're in the wrong episode for that. Um,
I don't know. I don't know what facial encouragement is. That facial encouragement?
look more like you're having a seizure, but that's fine.
I mean, isn't that encouraging?
Yeah, it's encouraged because I'm not. Is that why? Okay.
Yeah. Look at you. You're not having a seizure.
Yay. Um, it is, I get, is this Mark S's first more actual rebellious decision to just be like, screw it, let's go to O&D right after being told they lose hallway privileges? He did that a little bit with the mental health walk last week, I guess. So he's getting a little more
Yeah,
outside of his box.
it's going slowly, which is a good, I don't know, from a writing perspective, that's a good call. It doesn't seem to make a whole lot of sense. Why? I did think to myself, he just turned around and did the exact opposite of the thing he was supposed to do just because, well, I guess they have purposes to talk about goats and all that, but it does seem just kind of random. Like, it's not
Baby
like, well, let's
goats.
think
Ooh la
about
la.
how we're going to get in touch with O&D. It's like, we're going there.
Makes sense. Sweet forbidden land of O&D. And
We'll
there's
see how
more
that
in
works next
when
week.
Mr. Milchick shows up, I mean, how infantilizing is that? And then of course Cobell's weird song. We get that. That's fun.
Did
The
you
cheer
notice that
song.
she was singing the song to the baby at the end?
Oh, the same song?
The same song.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I think you're supposed to pick up on that, but
So yeah, the starting to feel more like a cult, isn't it?
yeah, but that's one of the things of the show. I remember being the first time I lived in Japan, I worked for a company, different company I work for now, but we were just like in training, we're like, some of this stuff is weird and cult-like. Which I
Well,
guess is the closest to being on a severed floor because you fly into Japan, you don't know anyone there, and you're spending most of your time in this little training house, which also has the place you sleep for those week or two.
yikes.
Mm.
Well, you know about the guy who runs the DeKalb Farmers Market, right?
Why would I?
I don't know, because you lived in Atlanta for your
Yeah,
whole
okay. Well,
life.
it's been a while.
But
Anyway,
you remember that place, right?
yeah, 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 sure.
Do you remember how they only took cash? Well, until very recently, they finally started taking like debit or credit. Anyway, that guy who runs it, for one thing, used to make trainees take courses in this like specific culty religion thing
Oh,
that
what's
he's part
fun?
of. But um, since he doesn't believe in credit, he's basically building a huge expansion to the farmers market just using cash. So there's been a big, gigantic, unfinished wall next to the farmers market since, I don't know, 2012. As far as I know, it's still just a wall. It just
Yeah.
looks totally insane.
I mean, there's still plenty of places in Japan where you have to use cash, so it's kind of it's getting less common, but I think maybe last time you were here was like half and half, and it's now maybe like 20% places won't take cash or won't take credit.
I definitely saw a change between 2005 and 2012, but this is like literally a religious, like, you know, it is a specific belief that he's like, I do not believe in credit, so I will not take it. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
sure. But I think most companies do have at least one or two just slightly weird cultish aspects. I think I brought up before when I worked at Radio Shack the summer after I finished high school, and they were like, "Get your spiffs, spiffs. You want a
Right.
spiff? It's all about spiffs."
Right.
You
Uh,
know, even
it's
even
called the
where
Forum. That's what his cult is called.
ooh, the
The
forum. That's a
Forum.
good. Okay, you want to become a forest?
I don't think that's what the Forum refers to.
No, no. People that follow it would have to be a forest. Is what I'm saying. You'd be a
Oh, like
forest.
Forist.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Not
Uh,
or a florist.
Here we are. Well, Burt Reynolds was in it. No, no, never mind. He parodied it.
Oh, okay.
The EST training was a 2 weekend, 60-hour course offered from late 1971 to late 1984. The purpose of the seminar was to transform one's ability to experience living so the situations one had been trying to change or had been putting up with clear up just in the process of life itself.
Okay. I lost interest in what you're saying somewhere in the middle of that, which is what is proper called boilerplate, right?
Yeah, this is definitely culty cult.
Although Luman does not know how to compose songs on the scale of North Korean jingoistic anthems. Those are, I think that's the gold standard in bad propaganda music.
Oh, sorry, I got kind of distracted because I see that The Wiz was influenced by it, and Joel Schumacher, and um, hmm,
The Wiz was influenced by the Forum.
yep.
Oh, okay. Huh. I keep meaning to watch The Wiz. I haven't seen it since I was a kid.
I always found it really disturbing.
I need to watch The Wiz. I'll get back to you on that because I haven't seen it since like the 80s.
Huh. So the forum, now the forum has been kept up to date and offered by Landmark This is just going to be a million rabbit holes.
Yeah, okay. For him for a different time. I mean, Lumon is a million
I
rabbit
mean,
holes as well, right?
this
So,
it's relevant, but it's just that uh, you know, Lumen is kept mercifully simple for those of us who are peering into this universe because this that's how it always works is there's just the constant rabbit holes, and I think it's like this thing where people who are subject to who are into that sort of thing get sucked in really quickly, like people who liked Lost better than Severance.
I, does anyone like Lost better than Severance now? Seems like
I
a
don't
weird
know.
opinion to have in 2025. I don't know.
I
Someone probably
don't
does.
know. I have no idea.
I will
I
say
bet there's the crossover for those two shows is probably like 85%, and
I can see that.
probably almost nobody is like like I can't you have to pick one or the other. It's just me.
No, no, no one makes you make a choice. I was yeah, Miss Selvig being with that baby is beyond creepy. That is like skin crawl television.
Yeah. Well, she immediately comes out of the gate with, was it a vaginal birth? And then it's like, I got you some cocoa butter for your nipples.
Well, I don't know. In pregnancy that you talk about what you need to, right? Or new baby time. You talk about what you have to. So I don't
Well,
know if
also,
I guess in that situation it wasn't the most whack thing, but her just having the baby and you know who that is, that's whack.
yeah. I
And
mean,
having seen her just sing that damn song 5 minutes previous.
yeah, but it also kind of tracks because, of course, you're gonna like go straight for the baby if you're a terrifying, like, soulless vampire person, right? It
Right.
makes 100% sense.
How about the concert? I haven't been to one of those shows for a while. When's the last time you hit a nice Scum concert? You're in Atlanta, must have been more recent than me.
3 days ago,
There we go.
I
So
I kind
I
of
got the nostalgia vibes from it, right? You didn't, maybe.
I kind of love that the music is kind of always bad in this show.
Yeah, because well, I mean, hey, you and I, we played in bands. You always assume your band sucks, right?
I don't, but they
Well, you
this
assume your
band kind
playing
of
sucks
sucks
that night, you know? You always assume that your
sometimes.
performance ate it.
I was always pretty overconfident, except for when my voice would go out. That was a source of
Mm.
lower confidence. But
This one had me
It
thinking
is.
of the SCTV sketch with on Mel's Rock Pie with the Queen haters. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
It's like a Sex Pistols parody, and it's was it Andrew Martin on the bass and John Candy, a bald cap John Candy on the drums, Martin Short doing the vocals. It's phenomenal. Everyone look up the Queen haters, SCTV. It's one of my favorite things ever.
Nice.
But this song was, the Lumon song is very close to it in tone, I guess. I mean, in the SNL sketch with the punk rock reunion at the wedding, you've seen that, yeah?
Probably.
That one's
I'm not
fantastic.
great at remembering a lot of specific. Like most of the sketch comedy I watched was in this like specific window from like 1989 or 1990 through the late 90s, and then I really
Okay.
kind of didn't
You
watch a whole
you
lot
missed this
before
window,
or
but
after. But doesn't mean that I can't appreciate it when I see it. But after Upright Citizens Brigade and Mr. Show, I sort of stopped paying attention to it and
I guess that's the
didn't watch a
peak
lot of
anyway.
earlier stuff. Didn't they
Then
didn't never really sat down and watched like early Saturday Night Live. That's like one of those I see
you got to
stuff
watch the
sometimes.
greatest hits of early Saturday Night Live. If you try and watch episodes of 70s Saturday Night Live, you're watching 70% boring crap.
I mean, I've tried to rewatch ones from when I did watch it, and it was like, oh, I forgot how much of this was
Might
meh.
be half and half at that point, you know? I mean, the really good 70s stuff is great. Don't get me wrong, but because they made the mistake of putting the 75, 76 first season of SNL on DVD once, and everyone's like, "Wow, these are really boring." Except like every episode has two great sketches, and the rest of it's like,
Well, yeah, I don't know what the answer to that is. It's if you have a Samsung TV for some reason, it installs a Conan O'Brien channel on it, where
huh.
when you turn the TV on, it shows you Conan O'Brien sketches from his show. And I think most or all of it is from his like TBS show, so it's like later stuff.
Okay,
And
there's a big blind spot for me. I haven't seen a bunch of his sketches, so
that stuff has a much better hit rate than Saturday Night Live, even though some of it is very like we know this sucks and we're gonna make fun of ourselves for doing it, but there's a definitely I feel like he's kind of got a just a I know he doesn't write everything, but it's like he's kind of got a magic touch where Saturday Night Live was consistent when he was writing for it, and The Simpsons was obviously, well, he was on The Simpsons for like a year, but still.
wasn't isn't he in
Uh,
usually credited with the monorail episode?
yeah.
Okay. We just got off of a monorail 2 days ago. So as soon as we were
Mm.
going up to the monorail, of course, I brought that up on YouTube, the monorail song. So
It's funny because I found out that George Takei was originally going to be in it, but he declined because he was worried that the episode was going to make people like kind of hate public transit. And I think he was kind of right because anytime in Atlanta they're like, we're gonna build this new bus thing, and people start just quoting the monorail song at it, like
Atlanta
anything.
could use some public transit though, for sure.
Well,
Um,
the problem is the country because we still have more than most places.
mm,
We don't have enough, so it's like we have what the ninth. We have the ninth largest subway in the country. Think about that,
ouch.
and it hasn't been expanded since you were last year.
Mm. Of course, Tokyo, you get lost underground. I have a very good sense of direction, but put me underground and it doesn't work anymore.
Last time I was on the Tokyo subway, it was almost like I felt like I was just gonna fall asleep from being on a train for too long, which is a
Hmm.
weird feeling.
Let's see. My notes here come out sounding like some slam poetry or something. Private research, midnight garbage, trash phone, no time like now. It's like slam poetry.
Yeah, there's a lot of the. I did think it was kind of wild that Mark remembered exactly where he threw the phone. I guess he just threw the phone in the trash can right next to his house, but
Yeah, I think you can
it's
remember that.
possibly more wild that he just like had sex and then just like left to go
That's
meet a stranger.
right.
That's kind of
That's kind of
wild.
the weirdest part, especially because this is Audi Mark, who theoretically would think about it a little more, you know.
But I
Although the
don't
mysterious
think that
voice
he,
says, "Can you
you
come
know,
now?" You know.
I don't think that it's necessarily that Audis think about things more. It's just that he's more of a, I think he's kind of more messed up in a way. It's like any Mark is kind of more well balanced in some ways.
Mm. Well, yeah, he doesn't sit in his car uh, crying with a bottle of whiskey before going to work, does he?
I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Like, this isn't really a spoiler, but like from most of the stuff I've seen, there are definitely some ways in which innies are more like well balanced and complete people. It's like there's definitely kind of a thing how the world destroys you, and the innies have managed to not be destroyed
But
to
is
the
that what
same.
makes them not people, as we learned last episode?
Maybe. I mean, it's like what is it like 10% of lobotomies worked or something?
Mm.
Like some lobotomies, have you read up on this, the history of lobotomies?
No, it's too depressing.
Well, some of them have worked.
Right?
So it's like, does obviously that does not justify like any of the people who were killed or
Yeah, it's an
horribly
extreme
messed
step
up.
to take.
And obviously it's, yeah, it was always pseudoscience and crap, and but some of them worked. So it's like in some cases it's that funny thing where it's like in some cases just like arranged marriages. Yeah, you could say like, well, the percentage of arranged marriages that work mostly has to do with people just accepting it, but some of them have to work, right? Like some of them have to genuinely work, even if you were the kind of person who would never imagine that an arranged marriage would work.
Right.
So in some cases,
Bit of a gamble,
like
though.
brain surgery to
Well, the person
remove
you
your
like is a bit of a
personality.
gamble too, so.
Yeah. Well, and the person you like, I mean, why do most relationships fail that that start out good, like fail because of life destroying somebody, or the one or the other person or both.
I know it's like when there's like a binary decision, you can do this, you can do that, right? Like there's no point in thinking about those decisions. Just choose one and move on.
But what if it's the wrong one?
Yeah, but then you're gonna double think that and double think that, and in the end you're just gonna make the same damn decision anyway. So might as well just make it as quickly as possible.
I wish I knew how to do that. Any of the things you just said.
Mm. Most of my indecisiveness is usually like in a store, like should I buy this or buy that? But that's kind of like part of the fun of shopping, I guess, if you're gonna have fun shopping, right?
I
The
still don't know what I'm going to do
indecisiveness
when
is
I
part of the
grow up.
fun. Mm.
I'm almost 48 and I still don't know what I want to do for a career. I
Well,
don't.
mm.
I mean, there are certain things where if someone put me in the position, I would absolutely take it. But as far as things that require an investment of my time, I don't know,
You want to be an
which is
astronaut?
bad. No,
Okay, so you can cross that off the list at least.
I'm scared.
Scared of astronauts?
But again, okay, but if somebody's like, look, you can be an astronaut for the rest of your life. We'll take care of everything. You just go training and you're an astronaut now and you don't have to do anything else, then I would consider it.
Sure, why not?
because
Well, you got
because
structure that, but again,
it's
the
not
infantilization of our innies, they're being given that structure that they are like, it's, I mean, it's not, they're told the work is important and mysterious, right? But they're clearly not astronauts, I think.
but for me it's not necessarily structure, it's the appeal of like the luxury of mindlessness, like the luxury of being able to just go to work and you don't have to think about what you're going to do, or like how you're going to move up or whatever it is, or the next job. Like I did so well in the last film job I had because or the last long film job I had because I was like, well, I don't have to think about anything. But really I needed to find another film job, but I didn't know how to do that and I didn't want to.
Well, one of the
So,
reasons I live in Japan is because I was not feeling I wanted to rock the gig economy, so.
yeah, well, but I mean, the thing is, sometimes that's mindless. There have been times when I've been able to do deliveries, kind of delivering alcohol during the pandemic was pretty mindless. You just turn on the thing and you're like, okay, I'll do that. And you repeat that 4 or 5 times and you made some money and you can just turn the thing off.
I don't even know how to look at my salary statements anymore. I'd have to do research to figure that out.
Well, but because I'm so neurotic and I keep like second guessing and worrying about everything, the appeal. I can totally see the appeal of I just go to work and I don't have to think about
And in
what.
Severance, you don't even have to remember it.
But now I have to think about how I'm going to get out of the job I have while working at the job.
But what if you're severed? You occasionally wake up and your arms got a little down, or your hands got a few bruises, that sort of thing. What do they do, by the way? Whack him with a ruler? Is that what we were supposed to infer?
I think he said he jammed his hand trying to
Yeah, I'm talking about what
fix a
actually
water
happened.
cooler. Oh, I'm not sure because I feel like it was implied up until now that the break room was just like talking.
That's why I'm bringing it up. It seems like they whacked his hand
Yeah.
with a ruler or something. I don't think it was a water cooler.
It's interesting how the show is has been like trying to make the break room extra scary, but also occasionally implying. But I think
But
that.
it's terrifying for an innie if all you know is his office and that's the worst place. That is hell. That's a hell in hell.
But what if Helly is what if Helly's getting a special deal where she's the only one who has to talk and everybody else gets hit with a ruler?
That could be the case. Yeah, because we've only seen her in it, right? So,
Because maybe they don't want her to they want her to stop trying to hang herself and stuff.
right, right. You want to do a few performance reviews before wrapping this one up?
Sure, as usual, I have nothing prepared.
You shouldn't. Mark S,
Good.
what do you want? Uh,
Uh, well, he directly disobeyed orders
I think if you go to
twice.
the break room, does that mean break room? Is that an instant F?
Yeah, that's an
You went
instant
to the
F.
break room, it's an F today. Okay.
It
So
also
Miss Casey,
it's
who we just glanced for a second, is also F because she's in the break room.
I'm gonna give him an F minus because really it would have been so easy for him. It there was no real reason for him to just you know what I mean? He could have been he was so flagrant about it.
Yeah, no, he did
F
build the door the
minus.
next day.
Miss Miss
Meanwhile,
Casey
they've
can
been
have an
building a
F
bridge near
plus.
my house for 5 years, so I don't know.
Well, they get an F too.
They do get an F. So Miss Casey also F. She's in the break room. I'm not a minus, I guess, but yeah. Also, I guess that's for what she did last episode, not this episode. So, but she's still in there. So, how about Helly in this episode?
She was mm, pretty uh go along to get along in this episode, except for when she was taunting Mark. So I'm gonna give her like a B.
Yeah, I was gonna go with a B. I mean, yeah, she's just a little snarky, right? So maybe she's not best for morale, but otherwise she's just doing her thing in this episode. Although I guess maybe B minus because they're not getting their job done, are they?
Well, but you know she's not the department head, is she?
No, she's not. That's okay. Well, anyway, B minus. Or that's not the department had got enough. So,
Yeah.
uh, Irving in this one.
Well, he's also gallivant. He was like taking the initiative with gallivanting around, wasn't he? So I mean, have to give him a C at best.
Mm. And C minus because he didn't do it right and he cock blocked himself.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I
The
guess that's
board
not really
hates you when
part
you
of a.
cock block
It's not
yourself.
really part of a performance review, I guess. But since we are viewing this episode, I can include that. Yes.
Because yeah, the board wants you to just do it.
Yeah.
The
Well,
board wants
actually,
you to do it.
they don't. That's in the no fraternizing's in the manual. So I guess we should take him back to his C or
Yep,
whatever.
yep.
Dylan. I mean, we're
He
moving screwing with
stole
Dylan this
something
one.
that's so unbelievably important that I have to give him a D. I don't know what it was, but it was so unbelievably important that it's a D, right?
I'm gonna
Whatever
give
that
him.
was that he stole.
No, I'm thinking B plus because he didn't know
Okay.
he was doing something important, and they did kind of traumatize him by waking him up outside. And I guess we're reasonably chill about it, right? Just hey, we know this happened. Can you give us the info? He gives them the info, right?
Well, okay, yeah, he did go along with the request for information, but Milchick had to go all the way to his house.
Right. So yeah, I guess realistically, like C is what it is, right? But I'm gonna go with my B plus. You go with your D, and they balance out, right?
Yep.
Okay. How about Milchek? He has to go above and beyond this episode. He's got to go after errant MDR employees. He's got to go to Dylan's house. I mean, he's busy in this one.
Yeah, I have to give him another A. He did
Yeah.
nothing wrong.
Well, he's probably doing lots wrong, but in terms of the company,
Yeah.
he's doing nothing wrong, I guess. He's
Yeah, Lumen did nothing wrong.
Lumen did nothing wrong. Uh, Kolvig, did I just mix their names together? Yes, I did. I said
Cobell.
Kolvig. Kobel. I mixed Selvig and Kobel into one name.
I'm giving I'm giving Cobell a C, and this is why. Because at some point she has to be responsible for Mark continuing to like break rules, even though she like should have demoted him by now.
So who should be the department head?
Probably Irving, right?
Yeah, I guess so. Although he's too busy. He's distracted.
But still, I think he would take that more seriously. Well, then again, I guess he
They
would
can
go
unify
to
the departments better that way if he's the head, I guess.
yeah, they would unify the departments
Yeah,
in the plant room
right.
with the board watching.
Right. So, yeah, I don't know. I guess I was thinking B minus, which is pretty close to your C anyway. So, if her song was better, if her performance of the song was better, maybe I'd raise the score. But
Well, powerful people don't have to sing well.
also, it isn't clear how much on the Miss Selvig is doing for her own personal benefit or how much she's doing for Lumen, right? That's not really clear.
It seems like she's going off the reservation pretty steadily.
Yeah. So you can't give her higher than my score. I think we don't have any third board members at the moment, so we can just C plus, I guess, is where the final performance review for her. Is there anyone else we need to cover? I think we got everyone. Bert, you want to give Bert a review on this one?
Yeah, Bert. Give him a
He's slowly going
B.
off the reservation too, so I'll go B minus. I'll be close to yours.
Yeah,
He's
he
definitely get distracted
probably
from his job.
he probably isn't allowed in that plant room. You know what I mean?
So not too high.
Most
o-
likely.
okay, anything else you want to throw on this app?
Um, it's again, it's pretty interesting that the Dylan thing in my brain happened a lot earlier, but I guess it did happen relatively quickly. You wouldn't necessarily going into this show. I didn't think something like that was going to happen this early in the
I really
show.
feel like it is the pivot
Period.
point of the season in general.
Yeah, and we very quickly worked towards the season finale, which I've mentioned before was so wild that I did not know if the show would ever be able to follow it up.
Well, I don't know yet, so we'll continue there. If people want to continue that stuff, we do lots of podcasting, podcastiopodcastius.org. This is in prison. Give us a groovy review somewhere if you want. Films and Filth, we talk about what are supposed to be really good and really bad movies, according to IMDb users. Time Enough Podcast, doing the Twilight Zone, Luke Loves Pokemon, Monster Mash Game Show. I think I said things I needed to say. What do you have to say for yourself?
I I don't know. Please don't take me to the break room. I don't know.
Hmm.
I couldn't think of anything
Yeah,
from
that's
the
fine.
episode.
I
I hate
just,
you, Lumen.
hmm. That's not okay. I thought you were fuck you, Lumen.
Yeah, I mean that's what always stuck in my head.